Hey guys, what can I say? It's the first day of school. It is bright and early here. Um, I'm recording this at 5:30 in the morning. This is the first assignment that I'm going to show you how to do. So let me share my screen. This is your day one assignment. It is the Zoom virtual background. Your job is to create a background image in Zoom that has a number that is very significant to you, your favorite number. And you're going to use that to embellish your Zoom personal background. You're going to put images, sayings, whatever you want that represent you. You're going to have your favorite number. And the most important thing you're also going to do is you're going to come up with an interesting way to make that number using different math operations. I want you to do at least 3 or 4 different math operations that build up to get to your important favorite number. So let me explain to you, or at least show you an example of what I did for my Zoom virtual background. And I also just want to say that this video is just about completing this assignment, doing it in Google Slides. There'll be a separate link about how to actually upload this image back into your Zoom and set it as your Zoom virtual background. Some of you guys already know how to do it, but I'll have a separate link just for that. So, here is my Zoom virtual background. You can see my important number, 96, right there. You can see a few images that talk about what I care about and what I'm interested in. So one of the things that you guys want to do is when you get your assignment, you've got your instruction page is the first slide. The second slide is the blank template that I want you to use. The third slide just shows you what menu you have to press or click in Google Slides to actually download this as an image for your Zoom virtual background. We'll get to that later. But right now, I just want to show you what I did to take this blank Google slide and embellish it and make it mine. So the first thing I did was I created a colored background, and I chose yellow and blue as my background. And I did it in a couple of ways. First of all, yellow and blue are the colors of UCLA and UC Berkeley. So those are important colors to me. I went to both of those schools. So one thing you can see is I did this little thing on my mouse where I hit the right click. For those of you using the Google Chrome Chromebooks, you just 2 fingers, click on your mouse, and you'll get this menu that you see on the screen. And I clicked change background, and I set my background color, the background color of my slide, to yellow. Okay, so that's the yellow triangle you see here. You can see my whole slide is actually yellow on the background. So again, I pulled up the menu using the 2-finger click on a Google Chrome, or if you're using a Mac or PC, it's the right click. And I chose a color as the background of my slide. You can choose an image instead. So you can upload an image, or you can use Google search directly to come up with a picture that you might want to use instead. But I chose a color. It's up to you what you want to do. I made it yellow. And then I added this blue triangle here using insert shape. And I got a little triangle shape right there. And I made it blue because I wanted this high contrast yellow and blue background. So you just draw a shape and then use this little paint bucket up here to make colors. So that's what I did. You can see that I put the UC Berkeley logo on there. I went to UC Berkeley for undergrad. UC Berkeley is also known as Cal, so I've got my Cal logo there. If you had me last year as your math teacher, then you know I love basketball, so I've got my little basketball image there. And I love watching college football, and my favorite college football team, as you might have guessed, is UC Berkeley. Again, if you had me last year, you know I love I love Berkeley and I love football. So there's my little football image. So I put a little thing here. It says Baller Math with Mr. Chang. Whether you're in algebra, whether you're in 8th grade math, my job is to help you guys reach your potential in math. And I just said, hey, you guys are all exceptional students. You guys all have a ton of potential. You're all ballers. So we're in Baller Math together. Put that there for you guys. The number 96 is my important, significant number for the year. That's because I have 96 students on my roster. Each and every single one of you is important. Like I said, it's my job to help you guys reach your potential, do exceptional in this class. And so my focus is on you, each and every single one of you, all 96. And the way I got to 96, if you look at the top, this is also a very important part of your assignment, is to take your favorite number and come up with a creative way to make that number using math, using different math operations, addition, subtraction, division. You're using PEMDAS in order of operations. But the way that I broke it down actually has meaning. So I did this in a numerology kind of way. So let me explain it to you. Hopefully you'll like it. But so I started off with, there's 96 students. That's each of you. And I subtracted 19 from that because of COVID-19. We are in this weird distance learning environment because of COVID-19. So I did 96 minus 19, which gets me to 77. I took 77 and I subtracted the number 80 from it, which gets me to -3. 80 represents the number of individual classes that we are going to have together this year. We're in a block schedule. We see each other between 2 or 3 times a year. So we really only have 80 classes together over the course of the year for you to learn math. So 96 students minus COVID-19 minus the 80 classes that we have together, that gets us to -3. And the way I think about my life is that I spend about 1/3 of my day, right? There's 24 hours in a day, and about 8 hours of that day, I am spending 100% focused on online instruction, making videos, getting your classrooms set up. So 8 out of 24 equals 1/3. So 1/3 of my day is spent focused on you 96 students. It's actually more than that, but you know, the math works. So if I take 1/3 of my day, -1/3, I'm taking 8 hours of my day and I'm taking it out, I'm removing it. So I'm making it a negative number. And I take -3 and I multiply it by, -1/3, I get number 1. So -3 times -1/3 gets you back to 1, +1. And that represents to me you, the student. There's 96 of you total, but each one of you is an individual, unique person that I get to know, that I get to build a relationship with. So I think of you guys as a class, all 96 students, but I also am just proud to get to know each and every single one of you on a personal level and figure out how you think about math and try and reach you on a level that is totally personal and totally individual. So 96 is important, but you, number 1, are super important. Multiply that back by the 96 that we have in this class, and I'm back to my total number of 96. That is how I came up with my important number. So hopefully you guys will put a significant number on there that matters to you, and you can be very, very creative about how you get to that number, right? use multiple math operations to break that number down and build it. And if you can create some meaning in those numbers, that'll be super interesting. I spent a few minutes thinking about like how I wanted to get back to the number 96 and the things that were happening in my life, COVID-19, how much time I'm spending, and the values that I have around the importance of each and every single person in this classroom. So that is how I got 96 minus 19 minus 80 times negative 1/3 times 96. That's how I constructed my number. So I encourage you to be very creative about how you use math to come up with your number. And don't worry if the numbers aren't perfect. We can work on it. You got multiple revisions to do this. But I wanted to share with you what I did. And this is the Zoom virtual background that I'm going to start off the school year with. I can't wait to see what your guys' virtual backgrounds will look like. All right. See you in class.